Hi everyone, welcome back to One Minute Bird. And on today's video, we will be talking about fall's anticipated releases. As you can see, I've already got two of them, but we'll get into that. So let's start. Now, fall, I used to just think it was between, September to like November? Roughly? Turns out I was wrong. Which is no surprise there, really, to be honest. If we're going by the equinoxes, which as a Wiccan I really should have known better, to be honest, it actually starts from September the 21st, which is autumn's equinox, or 22nd sometimes, till December the 21st, which is the winter equinox. You're normally, the equinox is the start of a new season. So here, as I said, it's normally 21st, 22nd. Really depends on the year. We'll go with the 22nd of September. This year, 22nd of September will be autumn's equinox. And that will be when autumn officially starts, which is today as I'm filming. So hello autumn. Nice for you to come and join us. This will then carry on till the 21st of December, which is when winter starts, which is the winter equinox. This is according to Google. But for the simplicity of this video, I am going to just go from September to December. Everything that the books I talk about will be in order of publication date according to Amazon, Goodreads, and the fact that I live in the UK. Disclaimer, I do live in the UK, so this is all UK publication dates. It's what I'm trying to say. Look it up in your own country to see when it's been published, because I'm sure it will differ, especially from UK to America. I know dates can sometimes change quite a lot. So anyways, as I said, UK release dates. Let's begin. Also a quick disclaimer, my anticipated fall releases, you can, choose to disagree with them, or if you agree with them, brilliant, put it in the comments below. If you want to see more from my channel, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And so, let's begin. 1st of December, the first anticipated release of mine is The Lost Book of Right by Cassandra Clare and Vestige. This carries on from Those Scrolls of Magic, I think, and it follows the story of Magnus Bane and Alec Lightwood as they're settling down into domestic life. Then a warlock breaks into their flat and basically steals a powerful spell book, and they have to stop. That's all pretty much I know. I'm pretty sure it's a follow-up to the Red Scrolls of Magic. I know it's the second one in the series, but as I said, I'm currently doing a Cassandra Clare readathon, so I actually haven't read the Red Scrolls of Magic, but I've had a lot of positive things about it. But it's my anticipated release because let's put it this way, I'm blown away by Cassandra Clare's world, and I want to learn more about it. So for me, I want to read as many books of hers as I can, and I'm looking forward to going into the series more. So yeah, that's why it's on my anticipated release. Number 2, Fable by Adrienne Young. This is also released on the 1st of September, and it basically follows a girl called Fable trying to find her place in the world, while also trying to protect her family from her dad's rivals and other threats. I think from what I understand, she lives by the sea, so there's a lot of water and sea imagery, which is really nice. And, it's probably going to be Fairyloot September box, but don't quote me on that. I'm only going by the fact that the month is under the sea. It just makes sense. So hopefully I should be getting that book, which is really cool. The third anticipated release is Daughter by Shavita Jafar, the author. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce any of that, but the author was really nice. and commented on my TBR on my Instagram page that made my day, and I think it's made my book too clear to be acknowledged by an author. I am also currently reading this. It's magical, it's lovely. This is the Fairyloot Edition, as it comes with sprayed edges, as you can see, and yeah, really cool. It's basically about a girl called Chantel who has to save her father after losing control of her magic and burning him accidentally. Sorry about my dogs. She then makes a bargain with her celestial family, which then leads her to face the dark past of the stars, and also forces that are trying to stop her. It just sounds magical. So yeah, Star Daughter is number 3. The next one is Lies Like Poison by Chelsea Pitcher. This is out on the 3rd of September, so it's already out now. And it's a murder mystery, from what I understand, about a stepmom of a group of friends who gets murdered by one of the group of friends. And then one of the other friends, I think, gets sent to jail for the murder. And the main character, Belle, is trying to prove her innocence. But it's like, who can she trust? It sounds very good. I'm sorry about that. That was also my dog, Diesel, trying to say hello. But yeah, sounds really good. Next is The Reckless Afterlife of Harriet Stoker by Lauren James. This is also out on the 3rd of September, so it should already be out by now. And I'll put all the images of the covers to the left of me. And it's basically about a girl who dies and in the afterlife discovers that she has powers, and it's a question of will she use her powers for good or will she use her powers for evil? That remains to be seen. After that, we have The Boneshard Daughter by Andrea Stewart, which is this beautiful thing here. This is Illumicrate's debut box version, and I really love it. And this book was out on the 10th of September, and it follows a character called Lynn who's trying to reclaim her magic and her throne. It's said to be amazing. It has a lot of authors raving about it. Sarah J. Maas herself says one of the best fantasy novels I've read in a long time. If she endorsed this book, no excuse not to pick it up. Definitely check it out. After that, I have Legendborn by Tracy Dion. That has just came out last week. Is it the 15th of September? And it follows a character called Bree Matthews who sees a magical attack on her first night at her campus, which then leads to a lot of events happening where she then unlocks her magical potential and realises that there was more to her mom's death than met the eye. She then joins the society Legendborn to find out what really happened to her mom. This sounds amazing. The artwork looks absolutely stunning. I cannot wait to read it. After that is Blood and Honey by Shelby Maroon on the 17th of September. So that's out in 2 days. 16, 17, yep. You should definitely go and buy it if you like the first one, Serpent and Dove, as it is its sequel. And it follows the characters Lou, Reed, Coco, and Ansel after they won the world following the events of the previous book. I have the first one and the second one on its soon to be on its way to me, because I managed to get the Blood and Honey special edition Fairyloot box, which I will be unboxing on this channel. So stay tuned, subscribe so you won't miss that video, and turn the notification bell on as well, please. So yeah, it sounds good. I'm really excited, especially because I know that the Blood and Honey Fairyloot box comes with a blanket, and I love my blankets. After that, on the 29th of September, so out later this month, we have A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. Oh my god, I cannot wait. It's meant to be an adult magical school, and it follows a character called Elle, who's the main character, who she realises that the school might not be as it seems, and actually might be quite dangerous and trying to kill her, basically, and all the other students. She also realizes that she's also a threat to the other students as well, as she discovers she has dark magic. But the fact is the school is trying to kill her. That's the bit I think we need to be focusing on, right? Anyways, I should be getting... Well, Illumicate has already said that is their box for September, and I cannot wait for that unboxing. This then leads to October, my favourite month of the year, not because it's my birthday on the 8th of October, but actually because of Halloween. I love Halloween. It's just one of my favourite celebrations. I just like the idea of, I don't know, you got your horror movies, you got your sweets, you got your people dressing up in funny costumes. It's just the idea of, a thin veil between life and death. It's just always appealed to me as a kid. I just always loved Halloween. It's also symbolic of the autumn month, and I always loved that too. So yeah, comes to Halloween time. So in October, we have One Way or Another by Cara McDowell. And this comes on the 1st of October. If you're looking for a book that deals with mental health, which also has a little bit of romance, this is the book for you. It follows a girl who suffers from basically severe anxiety, and she decides not let that get in the way of her finding love. So if that sounds more, warm, heartwarming story that you want to read, but also deals with a bit of mental health, check that book out. After that, we have Cemetery Boys by Aidan Thomas. This is also on the 1st of October. And so it's about a trans boy who is named Yandriel, who accidentally releases the wrong spirit. He was trying to release the spirit of his cousin, but ended up releasing the spirit of a resident deceased bad boy called Julian. And basically kind of ends up falling in love with him from what I understand. So that sounds pretty interesting. And it's also about a bit of a murder mystery of what happened to Julian too, which also sounds quite cool. After that, we have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This is by V. Schwab, and this comes out on the 6th of October. And it's set in France in 1714, where a young woman called Addie LaRue, the title of the story, makes a deal with the devil to live forever. And this then leads her to be cursed, to be forgotten by everyone she meets, until one day someone actually remembers. And that's what this book's about. I cannot wait for that. And then after that, we have The Once and Future Riches by Alix.E. Harrow. This comes out on the 15th of October, and it's set in 1893, and it follows the Eastwood sisters, James Juniper, Agnes Amaranth, and Beatrice Belladonna, who join a women's rights movement in New Salem, which then leads to them somehow having to look into old magic to survive and basic riches. So that sounds really cool. On the 20th of October, we then have Among the Beasts and Briars by Ashley Paston, and this follows a gardener's daughter called Ceres, who is basically being forced on the run. And it's going to have to take her to embrace her magic to be able to survive in the world that she's living in now. This also has a really cute fox and a bear for a companion, which sounds really adorable. The last book that's on my anticipated release for October is Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco? I can't pronounce her surname, I'm so sorry. It's from the same author who did Stalking Jack the Ripper series. And basically it's about a murder taking place. I think it's set in Italy. The person who's murdered is her twin sister, and the twin then decides that vengeance is the key. I think it has like a kind of, I think Goodreads described it as an intoxicating romance. I don't know. but it just sounds intriguing nevertheless, so can't wait to read that. And I think it could be potentially, skip this part of the video if you don't want to see it, could potentially be Fairyloot's October box. Well, book 4, that box. Don't quote me on that, but what I'm theorising, it's all theories here. So because it is just a theory, you can't be annoyed with me if I'm right. It's all theories. So this then leads to November, where the first book I want to talk about comes out on the 3rd of November, called Instant Karma by Marissa Meyer. This is about a girl who has the ability to inflict both good or bad karma on people, and I think it's also a romance story. Not sure how to link in, but it'd be interesting. Then on the 10th of November, we have Sasha Mashaya by Agnes Berensky. This is a book exploring gender identity and queer romance through the main character Alix, who feels like he's born in the wrong body. Also coming out on the 10th of November, we also have Rebel Woes by Emma Durant. I think that's it. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that. This is classed as a historical fantasy set in 1789 in France. It's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and it follows Belle, our main character, who's trying to rule her kingdom, but there's a lot of powerful factions coming up, which, causes a lot of issues. And basically at the core, it's about a female lead-driven character embracing who she's meant to be queen. That sounds amazing. On the 10th of November, as well, we also have another book called Master of One by Jada Jones. This is classed as a queer romance that has sinister sorcery and a good sense of humour. It's basically meant to be kind of familiar to Six Crows, so if you like Six Crows, you should like this book. And it follows Rags, a thief who's meant to be a good thief, and who is caught by a Queen's Guard, so maybe not so good thief. And as a payment, he's sent to find a relic for a sadistic royal sorcerer. This relic ends up actually being, a handsome fae prince called Shining Talon, and it's about that conflict that is caused there. Also on the 10th of November, there's 2 more books by the way for the 10th of November. 10th of November has a lot of YA books coming out. There is about 5 books coming out on the 10th of November. So there's quite a lot happening on that day. So going on to the last 2 books, we have Here the Whole Time by Victor Martins. This is a book on body positivity, and it also has a queer romance in it, as it follows the main character Philip, who has to spend 15 days with his crush. That's pretty much all I know about that book, but it sounds intriguing nevertheless. And the last book that's coming out on the 10th of November is City of the Uncommon Thief by Lynn Bertrand. It's a fantasy novel following basically it's about a quarantine city, from what I understand, which is gripped in fear, and apparently there's a war that can set it free. Pretty much all I understand from it, but it sounds interesting nevertheless. 17th of November, we have a book called These Violent Delights. Yeah. Well, we have a book called These Violent Delights by Chloe Young on the 17th of November, and this is set in 1926, and it's set in Shanghai. It follows a blood feud between 2 gangs, and at the heart of it is an 18-year-old woman called Juliet Kai, who has to work together with her ex-love Roman Montegov to prevent a spread of something, disease, madness or something, that is causing people to claw their own throats out. Yeah, claw their own throats out. Ugh. Anyway, told off for a while now. Right, this is a Romeo and Juliet retelling, And from the sounds of it, it's a romance with horror combined. Sounds really interesting. On the 17th of November, we also have Soul Swift by Megan Bennen. And it's about a girl called Gilia. We'll go with that. Might be wrong. Who must reevaluate everything that she knows after she's betrayed and is being hunted down by the religion who raised her. That sounds interesting. We also then have How the King of Elfheim Learned to Hate Stories by Holly Black. And this is coming out on the 24th of November, and it basically follows Carden before he became the Cool Prince and the Wicked King. That's pretty much all I know. Fairyloot is doing a lovely exclusive version of this. Definitely check it out. It looks amazing. It's like purple and gold. It looks stunning. The last book of November, we have Ruinsong by Julia Ember. And this is classed as an LGBTQA plus romantic fantasy, which follows two women from two rival factions coming together to basically reunite their country. Sounds cool. The cover looks stunning. Very excited. And then in December, we have A Curse of Roses by Diana Pingucha, which comes out on the 1st of December. And it's based on a Portuguese legend. Sounds very cool. And it's classed as also, it's also classed as a historical fantasy novel, and it follows our two main characters called Jezebel, who is cursed to turn food into flowers, and is it Fayan, who can teach her how to control her curse if Jezebel sets her free through a kiss. This then follows their love story, so it's classed as a sapphic story, a Sapphire story. Basically, it's it's an LGBTQA story, which sounds really cool. We then also have The Good Girls by Claire Eliza Bartlett, which also comes out on the 1st of December. And it's basically about a murdered classmate called Emma Baines, who, is murdered. And her friends include Avery and Gwen trying to find out who killed her. Sounds really cool. I love my thrillers. Also on the 1st of December, we have The Bitter Wine Oath by Hannah West. This follows a girl called Natalie Coulter who's trying to stop an evil from claiming her town. I think there's a cult in it. It sounds like a lot is going on with that story. And we also have a story called Admissions by Julie Bookstrom on the 1st of December. This follows Chloe Weinbringer, I think that's how you say the character's name, who has everything going for her. Like, she's gone into the school of her dreams, she's with a guy, her family life is amazing, she's popular, etc., etc. And then the FBI shows up at her house. And that causes issues. Mostly because they arrest her mom. And she could also be done by law for basically a college admissions bribery scandal. Pretty big. Ruin all of her dreams, basically. Sounds interesting. I'm quite intrigued. Also on the 1st of December, and this is the last book on the 1st of December, for some reason I've noticed we have the 10th of November and the 1st of December being very, very popular YA release days. So that's quite interesting. But yeah, also on the 1st of December, we have The Love Curse of Melody McIntyre by Robin Talley. This looks so good. It sounds incredible. It follows Melody, who obviously is massive in theatre. She loves playing it in her college. And she has a lot of bad luck with love until she meets oldie Woes. From what I understand, this is a queer love story and it's meant to be incredible. Definitely check it out. On the 3rd of December, we have a story by Karen McManus. She's the one who did One of Us is Lying, that series, which is meant to be really good. I have that first book in paperback. And her book is called The Cousins. And it follows Millie, Aubrey and Jonah, who obviously are cousins. And they get invited to an island by their grandmother. Now on this island they find that all is not how it seems. And the longer they stay, the more they realise how dark their family's past is and how mysterious it is. It's going to be really good. I can't wait. And lastly, on this massive, very long video of 4 anticipated releases, we have Pretty Broken Things by Melissa Marr. It is at the moment undated, so this could be pushed to 2021. Just a warning. But currently it's classed as it's coming out in December, and from what I know, it's set in New Orleans, where the main character is tasked to find out more about the well-known serial killer Carolina Creeper, and the more she learns about him, the more she's heading into his path. Sounds intriguing. So there is about 32 books that is on the anticipated reads for fall. If any of these books interest you, please let me know in the comments below. Any of them don't interest you for whatever reason, also tell me in the comments. I'm very interested in hearing your thoughts. If there's any books I've missed out, mention in the comments. And if you enjoyed watching this video, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for, more videos like this. If you want me to do this as a series, that would be really cool. I could do one for winter, which will probably be from December 21st to whenever that's meant to last. I think it's sometime in March. Love to do that for 2021. That sounds amazing. Chain of Rhyme will definitely be on that anticipated release. And I know Sarah Maas has a lot of books coming out next year, so one of her books will probably be on there too. So if you like what I'm doing, please like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you in the next video. Stay safe, everybody. Bye.